Hello pilots and welcome to Season 4 of Flight Academy, brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil. Full format rules and lists are in the description below, and you can see all the lists in the video linked in the top right hand corner of the screen now. But joining me for this game we have...
Hello, it's Andy.
Hey Andy, welcome back. I spy some N1s on the table that perchance are you flying them?
Yeah, absolutely. Ben's N1s. Yeah, they kind of let me. Oh yeah, I really had fun flying them, and I think I've mentioned it in one of the other videos. Actually, Flight Academy is a good opportunity to fly ships that you might not usually pick up, and I'd never used the M1s before. So I think like by this stage of the tournament, I was relatively comfortable flying them, and I know we spoke about it in a previous video, but just trying that sort of hit and run tactics, and when you disengage, trying to get at range and swooping back around for another Proton Torp. But I do remember this game quite well, and I won't spoil it, but it's a game I remember. Yeah.
I mean, all of the games have been interesting. There have been so many twists and turns in some of them, but it's nice to see dual N1s, and James actually mentioned it last week that the Anakin Padme combo is just, there's something right about having those two flying together. It's just a nice combination, and I'm not gonna lie, Padme's ability is horrible, is the way I'm gonna put it. It's a really good ability if you're flying it. If you're flying against it, I don't like it very much, just like shutting down modifications.
Yeah, it's a soft midnight.
Yeah, I will agree on that one. But you have some tricky opponents. You have two full-fledged Jedi Masters in Eta 2s up against you, and they're tricky ships to fly, but they're also tricky ships to hit with their stealth device and the Force. Not going to be an easy one.
Yeah, I was worried about coming into this, but then I thought with the Proton Torps I should be able to punch through. But you're right, it's a lot of green dice. They're tough cookies to crack.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need that weight of fire into them. I mean, Shaak Ti is a brilliant addition for this Eta list, just allowing Obi-Wan or Shaak to keep hold of one of those tokens at the end of the round it's just amazing. And I completely forgot about it, but you can do that with the evade as well. And I almost think that if you can keep an evade on there, that is just so powerful. Ooh, checking for a target lock there.
Yeah, I've actually been looking forward to watch this one back, so being able to commentate on it is quite nice. But yeah, I was just, because I remember going away from this game and thinking, oh, is there anything I could have done differently? And again, not to spoil the outcome, but probably have already. But yeah, I think a few things didn't go my way, and I was trying to think, oh, did I do something wrong, or was it? I don't always believe in those games when you blame the dice, but sometimes the dice gods are not with you.
I mean, in the long run, it's a game about pushing small plastic spaceships around the board, making pew-pew noises, and hoping that the dice work for you. So, I mean, it is a dice game at its core. So you could get the best position, and if the dice say no, it doesn't matter. And you've just got to do what you can to mitigate that. You've obviously got the Force, you've got target locks, you've got focuses to modify your dice to give you those best opportunities. But in the end, we're not Qui-Gon Jinn, and we don't have the Force to actually affect the dice, unfortunately.
And that would be an interesting game, wouldn't it?
I mean, only if both players actually had the Force and it was a battle of the wills of you just see a dice there spinning in the middle like it's the ending of Inception, with both players being like, blank, hit, blank, hit.
It would like probably like smash into 1,000 pieces or something.
Yeah. Well, it's
Everyone's sweating.
not a terrible position there for Obi-Wan. Doesn't quite get the bullseye, which this is one of the counterpoints for the ETA, is that unless they've got the bullseye, they're not throwing many dice, which is kind of good for you because those M1s only have 2 evade dice. It almost feels like they should have more, but they don't.
Yeah, I think the full throttle does make up for the 2 green dice when you get it off, but then when you don't get the full throttle evade, you do really feel quite vulnerable. And that's it. 5 green dice there. That's like no way. I think it's like, I should even bother rolling the attack.
Always roll, because I've seen 6 green dice fail. I've genuinely seen a range 3 shot from an Alpha Squadron TIE Interceptor into a stealth device obstructed Star Viper, and I've seen the Star Viper whiff, lose stealth device, and take 2 damage, and you're just like, what have I just witnessed here?
Sure.
Green dice
happens.
are fickle.
It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great when that does happen because it's just one of those moments where both players kind of just cheer.
Yeah.
Although, it's not. It's all like you say. It's a game, isn't it? It's a bit of fun, but yeah, I think if you roll in 5 or 6 green dice and getting blanks,
hope for a result. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the great thing about obviously the group of people we had for Flight Academy, and generally, I would say 99.9% of games we actually have in store at Entoyment, we have a really good solid group that no matter the result, they're just there to have fun and enjoy it. And that even includes our tournaments, which, on the subject of tournaments, we are hosting the Entoyment Store Championship on July 22nd. So if you are in the south of England and fancy coming down for a nice day of spaceships in July, you should definitely check that out. We're going to have a link for the tournament in the description below, but it's definitely worth coming down. We will be live streaming all day. If you have never been to Entoyment before, I highly encourage you to come down. It's a great store to play at. The staff are great, the players are great. It's just a really nice atmosphere to come and play in. So if you're interested, the link for the Store Championship on July 22nd is in the description below.
Great. Yeah, and I think 32 players, that one, isn't it? So it's quite a lot of capacity for the tournament. Be nice to see
32 players, four rounds of Swiss, and a top 4 cut with the Store Championship kit. And I am in the process of getting some more price support for that. And this is a cheeky Obi-Wan shot. That looks like a hit crit, and I think that's Auto Blaster, so you won't be able to avoid that crit. Which is disappointing.
Ooh.
Still spend the evade and just avoid the hit.
Sure. It could have been worse. Range 1 in the back.
Auto blasters are evil, and that's why they're not allowed in standard play. They're also very expensive. I mean, auto blasters and stealth devices, 16 points worth of upgrades on its own, so... and Shaak Ti decided to actually come back and join the fight, rather than just leave Obi-Wan all to it on his own.
I think I'm too close to Obi-Wan now. I've got the locks. I think I'm too close to Obi-Wan to position for the Proton Torpedoes. So if I recall correctly, I think I just opt to anticipate Shaak Ti turning in and fly towards him, hoping for the double Proton Torps.
Yeah, I mean,
but let's see.
With the N1 and Proton Torps, once you start getting close, that's where it becomes a tad disadvantageous for you. But you've got R3 Astromech, which is great. I can see you've already got the lock for both pilots onto Obi-Wan, so switching one lock over to Shaak Ti is not a bad thing at all. And R3 Astromech is something that both myself and you have utilised throughout this to great effect. And if you're taking any other Astromech on your ships, there's probably a reason for it, but I think R3 Astromech for this format is the best Astromech to take.
Yeah, I was quite happy with that move there with the, because Anakin was on the sort of side, barrel rolling in, just got a little bit closer.
Yeah,
felt like I was coming in a bit of sort of attack formation. But yeah, R3, fantastic Astromech for this format. So much value out of it.
Yeah, I think in some of the other flight academies we saw, like R4 Astromechs work quite well, opening up your dial a bit more. But yeah, in this R3, just so you can lock, because most of the time, this is one of those rare occasions where you're seeing the two ships not flying close together. I know that for pretty much most of my games, I flew my deltas quite close together. You actually split your N1s up, which you didn't do very often, to be honest.
Yeah, I just generally favour formation flying and sort of focusing fire where possible. And that's a lot of dice going into the back of Anakin.
Yeah, and that's marksmanship as well, triggering. Going to have to... Well, you don't have to spend your evade, but it's probably an idea to spend it with 2 hits and a crit,
Sure.
So now it's just hit crit coming through.
I don't know what I was even thinking about there. there's no situation where you wouldn't spend that.
Yeah. Oh, and it's a weapons failure.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I didn't remember that. Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah.
Weapons failure is not one you really want to, especially again, as I said, you want weight of fire against these Etters, and getting rid of 1 dice. Yes, Proton Torp means you're still going to be slinging 3, but it's not quite as good as slinging 4. Shaak Ti going to have a go first because Madbots has the initiative. Well, that was into Padme. Interesting. I think again trying to avoid a range 3 shot into Anakin, but I think I would have gone for Anakin there, to be honest. But there is Padme's Proton.
That's a lot of dice to reroll on a Proton, fortunately.
And it looks like we've got 2 hits and a crit, but that's plenty of evades there from Shaak Ti. That's not how you're supposed to do it. Take some damage after. Just rude. Again, they are massively glass cannons though. Once you start getting through those evades and the stealth device and everything, you just see them pop so quickly. I mean, we've seen Obi-Wan go down in 1 round of shooting in a previous round, so it's easily done. And that's just again unfortunate.
I remember feeling disappointed with that because I felt like I'd lined it up. I have to focus fire on these because otherwise there's no way you're going to get any damage in when they've got tokens. But they're tough. They're tough. I know. I mean, like you said, there's not a lot to them. And when you do get through, they can whiff and then they're just off the board. But unfortunately for me in this case, that didn't happen.
Yeah, it is very tough. And like I said, with stealth device, 3 natural evades, the Force, Shaak Ti running around with that evade stapled to her as well. It is very powerful, and fortunately, there's both your target locks gone on Shaak Ti, so that's no more Proton Torps into her. You still have it on Obi-Wan, and potentially, if it goes well, you might be able to catch, but
I think that's the plan here. I think it's to make use of the locks.
I was about to say, if you wanted to Talon roll with Annie, you'd need to do that barrel roll, and there it is. I might have pushed that barrel roll back actually a little bit if it was me. Hard to see it, but I think he might have just avoided Shaak Ti's arc there. But
I think I was mindful of the making sure I'm not within the range 1 bubble of Obi-Wan, but yeah.
So you've got that lock there, so ideally, if you can, you want to use the Proton. I think that puts him into the range 1 bubble, so the Proton from Annie is now not possible. But he is in Padme's forward arc, so he's only going to be able to modify 1 dice, so...
Well, it's one focus result, so depending on what he rolls. So if he rolled lots of focuses, that would be the dream.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when currently... I mean, he's got the 3 force, so it'd be quite funny if he could only modify 1, and he's like, well, I've got all this force, but I can't modify. But he's going for the defensive option. Again, I don't dislike it. That's not lots of focuses. So he does get to modify 1. Elusive to the rescue? No, not this time for Annie, unfortunately. Obi-Wan has just rewritten the saga. He's disobeyed Qui-Gon's orders and he's not trained him. He's just gone, nope, there's something not right there. Goodbye.
Yeah, I think that was risky to do that talent roll, but hey ho.
I mean, in 25 minutes, you've got to take those risks where you can. Yeah. If you don't take those risks, then it's just, yeah.
Sure.
And are you going for the range 1 into Shaak Ti, or no, Proton into... Yeah, I think that's the right call.
Live and die by the Proton tops.
Again, he can only modify blanks. Oh, that's a good Proton Torp roll, though. 2 hits, 2 crits. And he can spend the force on 1 and the evade on the blank. So that is a hit crit. Come on, direct hit. That's not a direct hit. Oh, sorry, it's 2 crits, isn't it?
I couldn't quite see the dice.
Damaged engine, and I don't think I actually managed to hear the other one whilst they were playing, but it wasn't a direct hit, and the first one wasn't a hull breach or fuel leak, so Obi-Wan is still there with 1 health. But again, as you see, when they start taking damage, they take a lot of damage quickly.
But the challenge is with the list now is, well, the obvious one, just having 1 ship left, but Padme spent the Proton Torps, and without the Proton Torps, they're highly ineffective.
Well, I mean, at this point, if you can catch Obi-Wan, where he's taken damage, he's not got the stealth device anymore. So you have more of a chance with Obi-Wan, but it's going to be tricky, and I know what you mean. You need to either be catching him at range 1 or using those Proton Torps. And I think having two N1s just slinging more dice, I mean, it sounds really obvious and cliche, but it is going to be more effective than 1.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think I was quite surprised by actually the damage they can pump out, considering how defensive they are. They still pump out a good bit of damage.
Yeah, I mean, these ships they're definitely hit and fade ships. You want them to get in, do some damage, get out, regroup, come back in. And in 25 minutes, you're not going to get many opportunities to do that, but you are going to have a few opportunities. You can probably, if you're playing against a reasonably quick player, you might be able to get in, get out 2 or 3 times. So, but with this one, unfortunately, it was Obi-Wan that just caused you all the issues. He just followed you the whole game and didn't let you get away. So, but that is game there, unfortunately. And I think a valiant effort.
No, it was a good game. I enjoyed it, and it's the challenging games I think that you learn from and that you remember and take away. And it was a tough game, but it was a good one. And another great thing about the Flight Academy is, the games are so short that it's not like you're sat there for another hour, like on a bit of a avalanche or sort of downward spiral.
Just waiting for your opponent going, just do it already.
Yeah, hurry up and
I'm
win.
already dead. It is quite nice. If it's not going well, it is over fairly quickly. But I still think you did fly that well. It's just unfortunate taking as much damage early on as you did with Anakin, and just the maneuverability of the Etters was just that bit better than the N ones. But all in all, a good result for Madbots there, showing what the S2s can do.
Yeah.
So well done to him. And again, well flown by yourself there, Andy.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, good game, Madbots. Well executed.
Absolutely. And guys, we've still got a couple more games to go before the top cut. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.